Hello everyone, this is Dijamani Sarmah, Assistant Professor, Political Science, Rabindranath Tagore University, Hojai. So I am going to discuss today regarding the Directive Principles of State Policy in India. As you know that apart from the fundamental rights, there are certain important things that is mentioned in the Constitution is fundamental duties of the citizens, and in the part 4, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. It is important in the sense that this is in the form of directives to the states. However, it is non-justiciable. But this is important because on the basis of these directives, the government or the state made policies for the future course of action. So, directive principles, when you talk about a certain constitutional provision, directive principles of state policy, which is embodied or enshrined in the part 4 of the Constitution. And these are the directions given to the central and state government to guide the establishment of a just society in the country. So, according to the Constitution of India, the government should keep them in mind while framing laws, even though they are non-justiciable in nature. Directive principles are classified under the Gandhian social, economic, political, administrative, legal, environmental, protection of monument, peace and security, and etc. So, have a look on the constitutional provisions on the Directive Principles of State Policy. So, this is enshrined. The Directive Principles of State Policy is enshrined from Article 36 to 51 of the Constitution of India, and these are the indebted to the Constitution. These are borrowed from. These principles are usually or generally we know that this provision of the Constitution is borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland. And objective of the Constitution to establish social, economic democracy in India. It reveals in the Article 37 that directive principles are not justiciable, no doubt, and however, they are fundamental in the governance of the country. And it shall be the duty of the state, and the state here means whatever defined in Article 12 and 13 of the Constitution, the state which talk about the institutions of the government from central, state and municipal and local self-government, all are included under the definition of the state here. So, it shall be the directive principles of the state policy and trust the state authority to apply these directives while formulating policies or making laws for the governance of the state. So, when we look at the certain principles, the principles that enshrined in the Directive Principles of State Policy from Article 36 to 51, we can classify those principles under certain heads, that is socialist principles, liberal principles, Gandhian principles and international principles. However, the directives that mentioned in the Constitution has nowhere categorized in certain way. But after discussing the provision of the Constitution, we can classify it in these four sections. That is, there are certain socialist principles are there are certain liberal principles are there, and there are certain Gandhian principles are there, and also there are certain international principles are there. So, what are the socialist principles? I am not discussing in detail now because of the shortage of the time. So, these are certain constitutions that endeavor to formulate the social system which will secure social, economic and political justice to all in the sphere of life. Article 13 talk about try to formulate the policy in such a manner so that secured adequate means of livelihood for all citizens, and the ownership of material resources would be controlled in such a manner as to observe the common good. Article 39 is also talk about the socialist principles, which talk about the economy of the state will administered in such a manner so that wealth may not yet to be concentrated in a few hands. And Article 41 also talk about within the limits of economic viability and these things. So Article 42, 43, which is also included in the socialist principles, uh, that talked about creation of just and human condition of work. That is, the people who are working should be under good condition, just and human condition. Inhumanity must not be there among the laborers or workers. And Article 43 also talk about socio-cultural facilities of the laborers. So there are certain liberal principles has also been included under certain articles, that is Article 44, 45, 47, which talk about the Uniform Civil Code, that is childhood care, education for all the children until the age of these 6 to 14 years. Article 47 talk about that raising the level of nutrition of the child. So Article 48 also talk about organized agriculture and animal husbandry. Article 50 talk about the the separation of judiciary from the executive. And there are certain Gandhian principles. We know the Gandhiji, who is the father of nation, who is regarded as the father of nation of India. He has developed certain principles, something like ahimsa, sarvodaya, and others. So these ideologies or the principles developed by Mahatma Gandhiji has also found place in the Directive Principles of State Policy. So we talk about panchayats, rural industry, rural economy, self-reliance, and state will and ban of slaughtering of cows. All these are under the Gandhian principles, and there are also certain international principles which has found place in the Directive Principles of State Policy. So Article 51A, which talk about to promote the international peace and security and maintain the just and honorable relations among the various states in the world, and talk about to respect and promote the international treaties, agreements, and law, and settlement of international dispute through the peaceful means are certain principles which is mentioned in the Directive Principles of State Policy. So, but however, there are certain criticism level against the Directive Principles of State Policy because of its nature that is non-justiciable, and these are regarded as, the mentioning or enshrining these things in the Constitution has no meaning because it is just in the form of the principles, which has no meaning in mentioning in the Constitution because it has not enforceable. And there are among these principles no proper classification has been also done in the Constitution, and there are certain principles which are not practicable. These are foreign in nature, against, and these are against also the principles of state sovereignty. It is criticized as that the principles are against the state sovereignty, and it has been also argued that it is illogical to include these principles in the Constitution because it has not enforceable, and no mention and it has not talked about its implementation method. However, in spite of such criticism, directive principles has certain importance because it has a significant, directive principle is significant because these principles are directives for the states. That the Constitution has given directives to the states so that the government or the states cannot go in the way to authoritarianism. And that is, it is reminding the government that you are in a popular democracy. That is, it has laid the foundation of economic democracy. And these principles are the measuring of roads to just and achievements of the government. And this is the principles which try to establish the welfare state. And these are fundamental in the governance of the country. The directive principle, the principle which is enshrined in the directive principle of state policy, which is under the part 4 of the Constitution, is very much fundamental in the governance. And these principles supplement fundamental rights, which is in the part 3 of the Constitution. And these principles are the guiding principles for the judiciary or the courts in India. And these principles bring stability and continuity in the state purpose. Educative value of directive principles are also very significant. And sanctions behind the directive principles are Constitution itself, public opinion, utility of directive principles, constitutional amendments, law made by the government, and executive orders. That is, so if we have time, we will discuss these things, the sanctions behind the directive principles in detail. So for today, I am concluding here. Thank you.